Yo, what is going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about two new champions getting buffed finally, man. Deadpool XForce was teased a while ago, so it's really good to finally see this buff happen. And the other champ getting buffed is YONDU, man. And that is so awesome because I was literally like, I don't even remember, like a week or two ago, I was using YONDU. I think it was when I was doing my arena grind for Void and like using my entire roster. Like, it was good because like, there's so many champs like I hadn't fought with in a long time, and YONDU being one of them. When I was playing with YONDU, I'm like, dude, like YONDU needs a buff. Like I love YONDU in the MCU, man, and he's so powerful with his Yak arrow. Like I'd be thinking like he should be getting guaranteed crits, critical bleeds with that Yak arrow. You know, like kind of like how Hitmonkey's certain attacks have guaranteed crits. Like I feel like YONDU's Yak arrows should definitely be guaranteed crits. Right? Like, I don't know. That just makes sense to me. But, like, regardless, like, YONDU needed a buff. So I'm really happy that he's getting one. So, you know what? Let's just start with YONDU. So, let's take a look. We have his attributes here, which, I mean, like, I'm never going to use this. I don't know. I would rather just, like, make my own. Because I probably don't agree with all of Command's rankings. But, let's just leave that alone for now. So, this is interesting. So, YONDU's mechanics. The leader of the Ravagers found himself some upgrades. So, this is how... I don't know. I just find it funny that they're like... YONDU's like kind of buffed himself in the contest. So, like, he found some upgrades. Along with the ability to steal his opponent's armor up buffs, YONDU has learned how to steal his opponent's prowess effects and turn them into armor buffs. He just learned how to do this. Okay, to help him fight those pesky mutants even more efficiently, YONDU has an upgraded heal block lasting for 25 seconds when fighting an opponent who is regenerating. YONDU also made some tweaks to his Yaka arrow, upgrading its chance to bleed opponents as well as upgrading its damage output. So character class tech, basic abilities, bleed, heal block, and precision. That precision is new, I'm pretty sure. So strengths and weaknesses, heal block, prowess removal, weaknesses, purify, bleed, and armor break, punish. So, yeah, I feel like Dragon Man, I think if you armor break him, you degen or something like that. So you wouldn't want to do that. All right, yeah, Dragon Man's listed there. Okay, that's good. I didn't even read his name. I thought of that example. That's good. I'm on good mental gymnastics when thinking about this game and different matchups. Okay, so abilities, Yaka arrow. YONDU utilizes his Yaka arrow during the first and third light attack, as well as during his heavy and special attacks. These attacks have plus 445 armor and block penetration, as well as the following 40% chance to inflict bleed, causing 2300 direct damage over 7 seconds. Against bleed immune opponents, instead have a 40% chance to inflict an armor break debuff, removing one armor buffs and reducing armor rating by minus 370 for 9 seconds. That's a decent armor break. If you're going to be able to stack a bunch of these, that's actually not bad. And the strength and precision of Yaku's Yaka arrow allows it to trigger critical hits and personal abilities through the opponent's block, but no guaranteed crits or critical bleeds for some reason. Why not? Why not? Like, what? I'll never forget the scene in Guardians 1 where YONDU just uses his Yak arrow and literally kills like an entire army. Like, you don't think those were all critical hits that he landed? Like, YONDU has such a mastery over the Yaka arrow. I'm sure he could easily hit critical hits on the opponent. Like, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying, man? So, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of lacking. But I guess it is kind of cool that you can trigger the bleed and armor breaks through block. All attacks, 25% chance to pilfer one armor up buff, 50% chance to pilfer one prowess effect. For each prowess or armor up pilfered, gain an armor up buff, granting 1400 armor rating. That's a pretty good amount of armor rating for 15 seconds. It's not bad. So YONDU has the ability to steal opponents' prowess effects and armor up buffs and convert them into armor up buffs for himself. This should come in handy against annoying mutant defenders such as Sauron, Storm, Pyramid X. Should be really good against Havoc too, where you actually really want the armor buff and take his prowess. Because his prowess effects, not buff. So passives too would work against like Kitty Pryde as well. YONDU could actually neuter Kitty Pryde now. Yeah. Okay. And so always active. Opponents suffer minus 10% combat power rate for each debuff on them. This is huge. I'm pretty sure this is a totally new thing. I don't think Yondu had this before. Then again, it has been many years since I've taken a good look at Yondu's abilities. So yeah, but so a max of minus 50% combat power rate though, man, that is really good. You can get 1 guaranteed heal block from the special one. Sounds like he's going to be able to either get a bleed or armor break on pretty much any opponent, unless there's, well, is there anyone who's bleed and armor break immune? I think his thing. I don't know. But with nodes, but for the most part, like Yondu's going to be able to either bleed or armor break an opponent plus heal block. I feel like getting to 5 debuffs shouldn't be too bad, especially if you can run deep wounds. That's going to be huge, man. Minus 50% combat power rate. That is pretty huge. That's pretty nice. And then heavy attacks plus 50% offensive ability accuracy during this attack, which is good because, as we read before, Yondu's Yaka arrow is on his heavy attack. And there's a 40% chance to inflict bleed. So with the heavy attack, you get an increased 50% offensive ability accuracy. So I don't know if it just adds straight to 90% to apply bleed on heavy. If so, it's pretty good. And then we have special 1. So quick draw, 100% offensive ability act plus 100% offensive ability action during this attack. Which is great. It's against like a domino or something, trying to lower your ability accuracy. 100% chance to inflict a heal block debuff lasting 12 seconds if the opponent is regenerating. Instead, inflict a 25% debuff. So the bonus duration makes annoying regeneration defenders such as Weapon X and Sabretooth much easier to contain. I think this is one of the longest, if not the longest, heal blocks in the game now. So that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Special 2. A little help from my friends. So this has some pretty insane potential here, guys. So it has 445 block penetration, but for each special attack the opponent has launched this fight, gain a passive fury, almost a 700 attack rating fury, for 14 seconds, max 12. Dude, 12 of those furies. Holy crap. This could be insane. Yondu could maybe actually be an option for end game content, man. I'm definitely gonna test him in Labyrinth. Actually, dude, Yondu could be good against Labyrinth Maestro. I might have to do that test. You could just keep him heal block for the whole fight, and you can stack up so many of these Furies. I don't know, man. Sounds pretty good. So we've got a dev note here. This is Yondu's main damage spike and gets better as the fight goes longer. Don't be afraid to bait more special 1s over special 2s from the opponent to gain more passive furies quicker. And then we have special 3, Yaka Ataka. I still remember I talked to a dev at a Comic-Con or something, and they wanted to make it Yaka Taco or something. I remember them saying that, so it just reminds me of that. But so special 3, 100% chance to gain a precision buff, increasing critical rating by 700 for 20 seconds. That's not bad. 100% chance to inflict an indefinite non-stacking passive special concussion, reducing ability accuracy during special attacks by 100% until the end of the opponent's next special attack. So it's a very interesting ability. It could definitely come in handy in some niche situations. And then the signature ability is Centurion Archery. This is what I wish got changed. But so it's Yondu's high octave vocal range gives him precise control over his Yak arrows. If he has precise control over his Yak arrows, why can't he not cause critical bleeds or guarantee critical hits? Tell me why, kabam. Enemies activating special attacks suffer a weakness for each debuff effect they're suffering from at the time of activation, reducing attack by 15 to 40% for 5 seconds. I think this is just one of the lamest signature abilities in the game. I don't know. I guess it could be good because your opponent has a weakness, so if you have to block their special, it'll do a lot of reduced damage. But I don't know, man. I would much prefer him getting like guaranteed crits, critical bleeds, that type of thing from a signature ability like this. Let me know what you guys think. But that's pretty much all of Yondu's abilities. We just got some synergies here, but nothing crazy. So Yondu's looking pretty good, man. Yondu is looking pretty good. I'm pretty excited. I do have a 6-star Yondu, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a Yondu buff video. I want you guys to hold me to that. And one for Deadpool as well. But speaking of Deadpool, let's start talking about him. So, about Deadpool XForce, Wade Winston Wilson, aka Deadpool, joined XForce as a Black Ops team running covert missions to eliminate threats to the Muta. Hold up, didn't we do this whole bio thing already? You know, with the other less cool version of me, I'm the hot one, the red suit, scab factory, just copy Spider-Man. I've got skills, suckers. I actually don't think I've ever read his bio before. That's funny. But what I don't understand, guys, is why doesn't Deadpool XForce have regen? Like, is there a reason for that in the comics? If there is, let me know. I don't understand. But yeah, let's get into his abilities. So, Taunt, Bleed, and Vicious. So, of course, Deadpool had Bleed before, but Taunt and Vicious are new things. So, Strength's Resilient. Constant application of Taunt debuffs causes the opponent to deal much less damage and allows Deadpool XForce to take more hits than most. That's exactly what you want to read. This champion can now take a lot of hits, more than most champs. That's what I'm looking for in a buff. Bleed damage. Deadpool XForce's Dudenium Poke alongside his special attack 1 and his super slap can apply a massive amount of bleedy buffs. And weakness, bleed immunity, because that's where he gets pretty much all his damage from. So all these stats are based on 565. So abilities, Taunt, I'm the Merc with the mouth, baby. Deadpool can inflict taunt debuffs on the opponent, reducing the opponent's attack rating by 25% for 13 seconds, max 3 stacks. So I don't think we've ever seen a champ that can stack multiple taunts before. Might be wrong, but usually it's just always a refresh on the taunt, on a singular taunt. So this is very interesting because if you stack up 3 of these, you're lowering their attack rating by 75%. That is quite a bit. This could have some very unique and interesting applications. So inflict a taunt debuff each time the opponent fails to activate a buff or debuff during a basic attack. Cooldown 4 seconds. Another way to inflict a taunt is just by landing a heavy attack. Some dev notes here: stacking taunts. Only Deadpool could be so brash. Stack all 3 and have your opponent's special attack cycle all day long. So all attacks, Dudenium Poke, 100% chance to inflict a bleed debuff, causing 1200 direct damage over 4 seconds. So all attacks, every single attack that you do is going to apply a bleed debuff. Now, the heavy attack is the super slap. So while walking, in brackets skipping forward, Deadpool builds up indefinite slap charges to a max of 10. Once he reaches max charges, Deadpool can extend them during a heavy attack to unleash a super slap, inflicting 10 stacks of Dudenium Poke bleed. That sounds interesting, and if you compare this up with a different special attack to increase with the Vicious to increase your bleed damage, could be crazy. So the bigger the ego, the bigger the slap. Charge up Deadpool's super slap charges to deal some big bleed damage. Take control of the stage to get charges quick. So there's some real potential damage output there. So special 1, if the opponent has a taunt debuff during this attack, Dudenium Poke does not have a cooldown. Death by 1,000 pokes. So Deadpool is getting new special 1 and special 2 animations. So keep that in mind when we're reading these special attacks. Don't know what they're going to be look like yet, but they're definitely going to be more than the 1 hits that they are right now. So in shorter fights, spam heavy attacks, special 1s to stack tons of bleeds. Special 2, this is Deadpool's fave attack, and while fighting as a defender, he is 100% more likely to use it over other special attacks. Each hit that is blocked inflicts a taunt debuff. So that I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of hits on Deadpool's special 2, or at least a couple, you know. So if Deadpool successfully lands all hits during this attack, he has a 100% chance to inflict a stun passive lasting 3.5 seconds. So knock the opponent away and land a long-lasting stun to build up a ton of super slap charges. It's interesting. That's a long stun, and it's passive. 3.5 seconds. That is a long time in an MCOC fight. So special 3, inflict a taunt debuff, and a 100% chance to gain a vicious buff, increasing the potency of damage over time debuffs by 75% for 25 seconds. While this effect is active, all taunt debuffs on the opponent are paused. That is sick, man. So if you have 3 taunts on your opponent, you're lowering their attack by 75%. And then if you use your special 3, or you only need to have 2 even, because the special 3 applies a taunt, then you're going to pause those taunts for 25 seconds. So for the next 25 seconds, your opponent is going to have their attack reduced by 75%. You're going to have your damage over time, your bleed effects, increased by 75%. Like, that sounds like a pretty good deal, man. Make sure you got a super slap in the bank before the special 3 and get some huge bleed damage. So yeah, if you build up 10 of those super slap charges, drop the special 3, then heavy, apply all those 10 stacks of bleeds with the vicious. Oh my god, dude. This sounds pretty good. This has some real potential on paper. In practice, who knows? And then we have the signature ability, super I can't even read what that says. I don't know if those are L's or I's. Something superior slander, taunt debuff. So each time the opponent purifies a taunt debuff or a taunt debuff on the opponent is replaced due to hitting the max stack limit, Deadpool gains a power gain buff, granting 0.5 bars of power over 5 seconds, cooldown 5 seconds. When insults fail, try violence. So race to special 3 or spam a ton of special 1s with some extra power gain for the merc with a mouth. That sounds really good, man. That sounds great. He has a way to get power gain, to get more specials. His specials do a lot. Like this buff is sounding pretty good, man. The more I read, the more I think of scenarios, and just the better it's sounding in my head. So pretty excited. And as far as synergies go, nothing crazy, just the usual armor, perfect block, critical rating, critical damage, small number stuff. And then recommended masteries, deep wounds, of course. I think Yondu also had recommended deep wounds because they both bleed, of course. And then petrify, pacify, grants ability action reduction, decreased combat power gain, and regeneration rate to opponents that are afflicted with Deadpool XForce's special attack to stun. So yeah, I would definitely put Despair as a recommended mastery as well, because with Despair, you're going to be pretty much totally turning off the opponent's healing, which with all your bleeds. I don't know why that wasn't included in there, but yeah, man, those are the buffs for Deadpool and Yondu. I'm pretty excited about both. It's just great to see any champion in this game get a buff, man. Love to see it. I hope Kabam starts buffing champions more regularly again, and get the entire game roster to at least a mid-level point. You know, we shouldn't have these champions that are just so garbage they do absolutely nothing. At least a mid-level point. I'm not saying every champ needs to be beyond God tier, but, you know, we need like a median line to get every champ to, I think, a baseline. I think that would be ideal. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know which champion buff you are more excited for, Deadpool or Yondu. It's probably which one you have at a higher star level. I don't have a Deadpool XForce as a 6-star, so I'm probably a bit more excited about Yondu myself. But yeah, that's going to do it. Let me know what you guys think of the buffs. I'm very interested to read the comments on this. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, we are pushing for 100,000, and once we get there, I'm going to be eating this guy right here, the world's hottest gummy bear. It's about 1.5 million Scoville on the Scoville scale for spice. So it's going to absolutely burn my mouth. We're going to do it on stream and then see how long we can go without drinking water. So if you guys want to see that, just subscribe. We're trying to hit 100K by summer. Thank you guys so much for all the continued support. Hope you did enjoy. Peace out.